Hello, bienvenue à tous pour la partie 2 de la lecture du livre du joueur d'échecs. Alors, on va commencer avec le paragraphe ici. On est simplement à la fin de la première page. We're gonna start with this one, this paragraph here. It's a tiny one, but otherwise it would be a little bit too long if I did the second paragraph. I mean the paragraph coming after, which is longer. Let's do it, and this time I will show the vocabulary at the same time, more or less. Il y avait environ un an, Tchentovitch était devenu tout d'un coup l'égal des maîtres les plus célèbres de l'échiquier, comme Aljetchin, Capablanca Tarkakawer, Lasker ou Bogoljubov, probably. Depuis qu'en 1922, Hrsetchevski, le jeune prodige de 7 ans, s'était distingué au tournoi de New York, on n'avait vu personne d'aussi obscur attirer avec autant d'éclat l'attention du monde sur l'illustre confrérie des joueurs d'échecs. Car les facultés intellectuelles de Tchentovitch n'eussent permis en aucune façon de lui prédire un brillant avenir. D'abord tenu secret, le bruit courut bientôt que ce champion était incapable en privé d'écrire une phrase, même dans sa propre langue, sans faire des fautes d'orthographe, et que, selon la raillerie d'un partenaire rageur, son inculture dans tous les domaines était universelle. Alright, so it's a very short text here. Let's take it sentence by sentence, and before we start, I'm always making fun of like journalists and stuff when they're stuck with the nan. I'm like, oh, they didn't prepare their text, and so neither did I. I mean, I prepared the text a little bit. Of course, like with the vocabulary, preparing the vocabulary. But when I saw those names, I was like, am I really gonna make a research about it? But when I think when you are a journalist, it's your responsibility to pronounce it the right way, like to show respect to the person. But I don't know those people, and it's not that big of a deal. Plus, they are dead today. So, il y avait environ un an, around a year ago, Tchentovitch était devenu tout d'un coup l'égal des maîtres les plus célèbres de l'échiquier. Tchentovitch became, all of a sudden, tout d'un coup. And I usually say tutaku. If it's written tout d'un coup here, it's 100% sure it's correct, like 99% sure it's correct. And I always say, and I often hear tutaku. It should be the equivalent, or maybe my version is incorrect. Doesn't matter. He became all of a sudden l'égal, the equivalent, des maîtres les plus célèbres de l'échiquier, of the master, the most famous of the chessboard. When you play chess, you can whether open it or it's just a board already, and that's échiquier en français. Not échiquier, like a lot of people say, échiquier. Comme Aljetchin, Capablanca, Tarkakov, Lasker ou Bogoljubov. Depuis qu'en 1922, since when in 1922, I don't just say since, I say since when, because I think that later in the sentence there is gonna be a use for the when. Since when, depuis que, not just depuis, since. Let's see. Depuis qu'en 1922, Hrsetchevski, le jeune prodige de 7 ans, the young prodigy of 7 years old, s'était distingué au tournoi de New York. S'était distingué, if you just have distingué like an adjective, is distinguished, I guess. But se distinguer de, it's like to stand out. Like, oh, he's standing out of the group because he's very beautiful, and he stood out of a group of players because he was 7 and he was a prodigy. Au tournoi de New York, at a tournament, so tournament, championship, tournoi. On avait vu since he, so in French, since he managed to stand out in the tournament. On n'avait vu personne d'aussi obscur attirer avec autant d'éclat l'attention du monde sur l'illustre confrérie des joueurs d'échecs. Okay. The vocabulary is on top here. Alright. On avait vu personne. That's interesting for the people who are not familiar with French already. Double negation, more or less. Ne and then personne. Ne, personne, ne, jamais, blah blah blah, the structure. On avait vu personne. We didn't see anyone. We didn't see anybody. D'aussi obscur. Who's that? Obscure, it comes from obscurité, shadow, so not shadowy for a person, like, and not obscure either. I would say d'aussi obscure. Obscure in a sense that it's not well known. It's not clear, I guess. Attirer, attract, avec autant d'éclat. Éclat, it's literally it's like when something shatter, then there are shatters, and that's éclat. But avec autant d'éclat, like we could say while shining, probably. L'attention du monde, the attention of the world sur l'illustre confrérie des joueurs d'échecs. Illustre, I just learned the word, it's lustrous. Lustrous, and it means glorious. Illustre confrérie, that's interesting, it's like at university, the brotherhood or a fraternity. Des joueurs d'échecs, of chess players. Again, this sentence, we didn't see anyone that obscure or whatever attract avec autant d'éclat, so much. With so much attention, the attention of the world, on those people of the fraternity of the group of chess players. This guy brought a lot of attention on the world of chess players, basically, but much longer. Car les facultés intellectuelles de Tchentovitch n'eussent permis en aucune façon de lui prédire un avenir brillant. Because the intellectual, it's not faculties, you don't say intellectual faculties, I guess, in English, so capacities. Because the intellectual capacities of Tchentovitch didn't allow him in no way to foresee, there is also to foreshadow, I'm not sure about it, I'm not gonna check it now, to foresee or to predict, just like that in English, the same word probably. Brillant avenir, a glorious, a brilliant future. Avenir is future. And when you say in the future, you don't say in French dans le futur. It's a mistake that I correct all the time. À l'avenir. À l'avenir means in the future. Alright? Nus, permis, is plus que parfait. Subjonctif plus que parfait, I guess. And I say that if you know how to use that, then you have more or less master French literature grammar, because it's like the very advanced conjugation of a verb. Not difficult, you just need to learn it and then to use it, to have the occasion to use it. Obviously, you don't use it in the daily life. Nus permis didn't allow him, en aucune façon, in no way, en aucune façon, de lui prédire un avenir brillant, a brilliant future. D'abord tenu secret, that's interesting, first held as a secret, le bruit couru, and that's even a better expression, a better saying, le bruit couru, it means that there is a rumor. People are saying about it, there is a rumor, there is a rumor that there was soon a rumor that this champion, sorry, I didn't read it. D'abord tenu secret, le bruit courut bientôt que ce champion était incapable en privé d'écrire une phrase, même dans sa propre langue, sans faire des fautes d'orthographe et que, selon la raillerie d'un partenaire rageur, son inculture dans tous les domaines était universelle. So, first held as a secret, then there was a rumor saying that this champion was incapable in private, like in his private life, to write a sentence, even in his own language, without making spelling mistakes, writing mistakes, sorry. And that, according to the mockery, Khairi mockery, so some kind of a judgment of something, making fun of someone. The partenaire rageur, un partenaire, maybe here a chess partner, very likely if they are criticizing each other, probably not a friend, right? Rageur, a raging partner. And that brings me to rageux. Rageux, here. Rageux. Rageux is a hater, and people ask me how do you say Ryan, how do you say haters gonna hate in French? And I say I don't think there is an equivalent unless you say like, oh, c'est toujours les mêmes rageux. It's always the same haters. Haters gonna hate, why not? On the social media you can see like fuck les rageux, fuck the haters, and that's it. And then son inculture. La culture, en français on parle de culture ou de culture générale, c'est general knowledge. If I know a lot of stuff about geography, but I also know stuff about cars, and then chess, and then mathematics, and then I know how to build a house. Not the technical part, but like the knowledge of building a house, all that. It's general knowledge, it's la culture ou la culture générale. Donc, un culture, on met un devant, we put un in front of it in order to make the negation, to make the opposite. Le préfixe. Ça va être the lack of knowledge, the lack of general knowledge. Son inculture dans tous les domaines, in all subjects, in all areas, était universelle. So, universel, it was everywhere, universal. This we can call jugement hâtif. When you judge someone, jugement hâtif, hasty judgment. It's like when you first meet someone and based on your first impression, oh, this guy, he doesn't even know how to read a book, he doesn't know how to spell stuff, blah blah blah. And then you are like, oh, this guy is not clever. Then you call this jugement hâtif. Jugement, judgment, hâtif, hasty, meaning too fast. You offer your judgment, or you say your judgment before you are actually capable to say something constructive about the person. So that's for today. It's a little bit shorter, but next time it's gonna be a longer paragraph here that you can see. I will do that. And I hope you liked it. If you have suggestions, write them down below in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do it. It's very useful for the algorithm, for the channel. Subscribe, click on the bell for you to make sure you get the notifications. Like almost every day, every 2 days, I will try to read this book a little bit. And for you as students, it's a very good way to always get used to French. If you don't like to read yourself, then at least you just chill in front of the of your computer. You don't have to search the words. I guess it's decent. So see you and take care.